Welcome to this new Addon Spotlight. In this Addon Spotlight we're gonna look at the Salty 747.8 mod, which has been updated to version 0.3.0. So it's not yet version 1 as you might think. They're doing a little bit, I would say they're doing it a little bit slower compared to, for example, the A32NX team, because they have a, let's say, smaller development team. But again, I would say the modifications which they made or the improvements they made are, I would say, really nice. So let me show you some of the improvements. So first of all, there's a screen here. Don't think it was there in earlier releases. Fortunately, the screen doesn't work yet, but that will probably come in the near future. There's a new font being used, so it's a pretty clear font, so you can now see a lot of things. And there are now nice messages, for example, time to align for the navigation system or the IRS is now being displayed. There are some new messages here to show you, okay, what's going on. So the MCDU messages are, I would say, updated, so it's far more clear what's going on. In the salty options, there are a few new things. The IRS status, I think it was already there. If not, I will explain shortly. The IRS status is to align the navigation buttons, and you will find those buttons on top of the aircraft. So here you will find them, right? You can set them to either off, align, navigate, or ATT. So I've now set them to align because I first want to align them. Once they are aligned, I can set them to navigation to start using them. Well, there are other options. Let me go back to the options menu. That's the meteor source. There are some new options here. Meteor Blue is the one I tend to use because I'm using the Flight Simulator native ones. But as you can see, there's also the AVWX, the VetSim, the Pilot Edge, and the IVAO one, which you can define, so you can switch to different meta sources. Then we've got the TAF source. There are only two options there, the NOAA and the IVAO, right? So these two options are there for our weather resources. And the new stuff is the Simbrief, so you can integrate the Simbrief, let's say, website within your 747 mod. So what you can do is you can plan your flight using Simbrief and then load it into the 747 mod. I will discuss that in a separate video. Then you've got the units. There's not much change there, and the ATIS source. There's also several options here. There's the VetSim, the Pilot Edge, the IVAO, and the FAA. That's only for US only, as already mentioned here. Between the brackets. If we're looking at the default options, I think they made some modifications to, I would say, fly better, to use the aircraft a little bit better. So a lot of improvements have been made on that cycle. So if I'm going to the change log, which they also uploaded. So there's some change to the flight director, a lot of change to the VNAVs. So there's maintains the approximate V2 speed for liftoff until ACC alternate. The automatic thrust reduction has been improved, and also some values updated for the maximum speed, maximum max speed, or speed in max. Auto throttle is now displaying correctly. The FMC ones, that's the ones we just discussed. So we've got the WX and meteor information and the ATIS request, which was the one I just showed you, right? So if I go to Salty, you see the options here. Those were not there. Same thing is for the ATIS request. And you can change the source, right? So not only the flight simulator options itself, but also external sources. The PFD, which you can find here, is for the flight plan. I didn't program a flight plan, but there are some new enhancements made there to make it more, let's say, look better. And there are several visual redesigns of parts of the aircraft. Then we've got the Icas, and the Icas has been modified a lot. There are some new messages. A few of them I already discussed them. There's the new IRS align mode, right? As you can see, the IRS is now aligned, so the message has been gone from this center there's the icing advisory. So if you're flying really high, then you will get a message that you need to enable icing. And there's the speed brake arm, which also been set, and the overspeed and the fuel quantity settings have been modified. So if we, for example, set the speed brake, let me do that. Let me pull it. Doesn't allow me to pull it. Come on. Probably because the engines are not started. You can see it's locked for some reason. So I can't change it. Let me figure it out how it works. No, it doesn't allow us to set it. So that will be part then of another video. For some reason it doesn't allow me. Oh, here. Set it to 4 now. You can see that there's some work to do for me also to figure out how that speed brake works. In other airplanes it simply is pulling and then will work, but in this airplane it doesn't look like that's the case. But that's okay for now. The thing, oh, here it updated the message. It said, hey, speed brake is armed, so that's cool. So maybe it's a GUI issue that it doesn't show that it's really, I would say, enabled. There are some more camera positions, and I think one of the coolest one is this one. I'm pretty sure it wasn't there earlier. That's this one. It looks really from behind the pilots and the co-pilot, and you can see all the buttons here. Go away bar. The top buttons there's really nothing which is I would say working as far as I know. I don't see, I would say, other aircrafts having the same options, and of course here are a lot of options which are working compared to the default 747 cockpit, right? So if you're, I would say, a fan of the 747, then it's definitely recommended to install the Salty 747 mod, because it allows you to set several other options which are not part of the default Flight Simulator 2020 cockpit. I think we discussed most of the things here, right? So the flight plan I can't show it to you. I think that the change to the fonts makes it better readable, but that might be a personal opinion. So that's all kind of cool. This is where this video ends. In another video I will discuss how you can configure the Simbrief integration. We'll make a separate video for that, just like the one I did for the A32 Annex and for the working CG4, where I also created separate videos for. Let me know what you think about the cockpit. What's your, I would say, experience with it? Use the comment box below the video for it. Hope you liked this video. If you liked it, then consider to use the like button. If you've got questions or comments, then feel free to drop them below the video. And if you want to stay up to date about new videos on my channel, then make sure that you're subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.